Now with the Touareg, we're looking at an SUV that has so much more than meets the eye. V6 all the way. You can see how it's actually bumping up the car's height.
This is incredible. It's actually changing the height of the car if you look closely.
Driving a tank on a road in a city, it is so damn fast. It's an SUV that's a tamed animal with a complete understated body design. It's no longer on sale today, probably because of all the costs that goes into maintaining it. But if you look at the side of profile here, a little bit of a bulge that just simply comes along. The shoulder profile stands up a little bit. At the back end, you've got a couple of tail lamps that are fully LED, really chunky, massive. That's the thing. To pop the boot open, we're getting in ample space in here. You got a space saver spare wheel here inside the Touareg's boot. With the rear seats folded down, they fold in the 40-20-40 split. And look at these buttons, they're so fancy just to fold the seats down. You click them once, and the rear seat just drops down like that. So with the seats folded, you're getting 1800 liters of boot space. That's hell a lot of amount. You got a 12-volt charging socket on this side as well. The other buttons to fold the seat down ahead.
These two buttons out here actually raise or lower the level of the boot to make it easier for you to load or unload items.
Let's get out of it. To shut the boot, you just simply drop it down this way. The back design, it's really bulky. That's the entire design language of this vehicle. So there's nothing in this car that doesn't state SUV. It's all SUV all around. As we look at the entire roofline as well, it seems a little bit compact from this side, but when we get in, you'll be surprised at the amount of space that we're going to find. Let's head on to the front now. A little bit of a stumble. You've got this really blacked out, two-tone, two-stripped grille out here. It has a couple of tones. You've got these little bit of slices that come in them, leaving it fully exposed. The radiator front as well, you can see it right through it. On the side, you've got a little bit of intake that actually stays open on the back side as well. The fog lamps down there are halogens that have completely been indented inside the bumper. Then we move right up here is what we can actually see. A couple of bisonons on either side. You got LED DRLs that are wrapped in the shape of a U around the headlamps.
And they've got headlight washers too.
Let's step back now and take a good look at this front. You've got a couple of striking lines across the bonnet. Underneath the hood, V6 all the way. TDI is the name. This engine produces 242 horses and a gargantuan 550 Newton meters of torque. That's right, you heard me. That is so incredibly massive. A little bit of insulation at the end there, but it doesn't really help. It's noisy. Even in the cabin in there, you can actually feel that noise. Volkswagen, bring this back, will you? Just bring it back.
So what's backing up this V6 engine at the back end are a couple of big and real exhausts.
18-inch monstrous tires that have an absolutely thunderous profile as well. 255s in terms of the width, 55 in terms of the profile. So they're a little bit on the high profile side, but they're huge, great outer alloys. Disc brakes at the front and the rear, needless to say. If you take a good look from this side, is where you'd actually see those intakes that I was talking to you about from the front. There is some good aerodynamics in this vehicle. Enough of all this talk now. Let's quickly get into the car and see what it feels like. However, this is what the key looks like right here for the Touareg. You've got unlock, as well as a boot opening button, and that's about it. Getting into the cabin of the Touareg. Man, and it's quite a leap inside here. The first thing I notice is I'm wrapped in a beast. That's what this is. I'm so well seated high up the road. And I can feel it so solid. Everything around this cabin, all the materials are soft, yet they're solid. Even the panel around here in the center console, it's hard to touch actually, but it's still solid. It's giving you that sense as though you're wrapped and you're seated into a tank. That's exactly the way I feel. Nothing's going to touch me from outside. Let's quickly take a look at the storage spaces now inside the cabin. And if you look in the center console, you've got this little bit of a flip opening storage out here with a 12-volt charging socket down there. Shut that. Got a dual storage here on the armrest. Opens up really fancily. Something that's not expected from Volkswagen nowadays. But you've got decent space in there. Pretty ample. You can stuff in whatever you wish to. Get this down. Massive cup holders out here with these cubbies that just simply bend in. Moving into the glove region, that's all right space. You've got a little bit of a sunglass hatch as well inside the glove region. And yeah, it's a cool glove box as well.
The door bins.
I'm pretty sure they could easily house up to a 2-liter bottle as well, looking at the size of these. The visors, you get vanity mirrors with the light surrounding them. That's so neat and tidy. It's a rare touch in cars. Let's quickly get into the sunroof region. You see these arrows that are pointing here? That's actually for the shade to move back and come back automatically. It opens up all the way to there. Man, it's so spacious. It's almost like it's taking the roof off the car. You've also got a little bit of storage that comes in up here, right above the infotainment. Let's now quickly move down and take a look at the 6.5-inch touchscreen infotainment system that's here in the Touareg. It's pretty simple. There are no real fancy features in it. Touch response is alright. You've got Bluetooth as well as an SD card slot as well as a 6 CD changer right up there. You've got an 8-speaker sound system here on the Touareg. It sounds pretty loud despite there's no subwoofer involved in the car. It does its job, making it a party house. So you've got a 4-zone climatic control out here inside the Touareg. Temperature controls are really easy. You can sync them up. Also a little bit of heated and heated seats. They're just heated. Who would really want that in Mumbai city? Neat display out there, shows you the fan speed of these buttons. It's pretty simple to use, the off switch is right there.
The AC vents are surrounded by the silverish plastic and they're rather large, given the mark of a rugged SUV.
There's also a handy key slot out here that lets you put in your key for some reason if you don't want to keep it in there. You can just simply dump it in. That's a neat touch, but you don't need to really do this. Pull it out and that's about it. It was actually an engine start-stop switch, but for some reason it's not needed now. It's all keyless. You just need to press the start button out here to ignite the engine. The wooden panel along here on this side as well is a really fancy touch. It really adds to the plush and richness of the cabin. You can actually turn off your passenger airbag out here if you don't want to use it when there's no passenger seated. Park distance control system, when you click on it, the sensors show up on either end. Click that and it goes off immediately. And both the front passenger seats are electrically adjustable. Both have memory function that's been wrapped along this wooden finish along the door panel here. I've got your lock and unlock buttons as well that come along the door panel. I've got my boot opening button out there. Child lock switches for doors out here.
Electronic parking brake and auto hold.
My mirror adjustments are on this side. Now let's get back into the center console, and what you find here is auto Navio function out here. It's actually for your off-roading ability. It actually raises or lowers the height of the vehicle. Right beside the traction control on-off switch, it says I'm in a comfort mode right now. So the moment I dip it into normal, my dampers are adjusting. Move it into sport. The sport setting is actually adjusting my dampers in the sport. So there are some serious dynamic damper adjustments in this car. On-road or off-road toggle switch out here. Once I'm in the off-road setting out here,
and I begin to turn the ride height wheel,
you can actually feel the car is now going, it's actually adjusting its ride height, and you can see it's actually increasing the ride height. Special off-road settings, this is how detailed it is. You can actually adjust the car's ride height and you feel it. You've got a 3-spoked steering wheel that is leather wrapped. You've got rake as well as reach function in the Touareg steering wheel. On this side, a little voice control out there. You can control your media options on here, volume control. Quickly press OK. You can see your fuel economy, your average, your range. It all shows up pretty simply from here. Click this and you can actually get more options for your menu. So that is pretty much it. On this side, I've got my headlamp toggle controls, my fog lamps, as well as my speed limiting options on that side. The stock sticks that come here, that's my cruise control. For some reason the cruise control is separated from it. I've got my headlamp switches out here as well as my wiper controls on this side. Getting into the back seat, I notice I don't need to really jump up again, but there's so much space in this cabin. Just look at all this leg room. It's immense. It is actually that huge. This sunroof as well that's above me. This glass has become so damn big at the back end now that I can feel it. It's huge. It's so damn spacious, and you get a complete sense that you're engulfed with so much light due to the size of this roof. Nice touches here in the B pillars with the AC vents that come in. The 4-zone climatic control system continues as well out here. So I've got heat as well as cooling. I can actually direct the airflow as well, reduce or increase the AC temperature. The AC vents out here in the center console too. And then out here, you've got a 12-volt charging socket. I mean, just imagine they've made this little flap out here just to hold a 12-volt charging socket in there. And when you ask me that familiar question, now 3 at the back, is it going to be possible? I completely think so. Even for a long distance, you're going to be comfortable in this car. Let's quickly take a look at the storage out here. Decent sized cup holders, that's about it. And if you want to have, you can't really get into the boot, neither can you fold these seats down, despite it's a 20 folding seat. On my side though, I have seats that actually recline forward or backward. So that's good enough. I can't really take it. Oh, I can actually even, can I take it front? Yeah, I can actually get it in the front if I want to. Take it at the back. It's got so much space. I've got my reading lights on this side. You even got shades out here on the door panels. It's a nice feature that I like to see in cars. Darkens up the cabin. The wooden finishes along the door here. Soft touch. Really rich, despite it's a rugged SUV with simple looks on the outside. The entire cabin is wrapped in Vienna leather. Seat comfort is good. Under thigh support even in the back seat is really good. Long distances you're going to cruise off with this V6 under its hood. Tremendous. So let's just simply get in the car's driving seat and take you off for a quick drive. So my Servotronic steering wheel is what this is. Quickly move the car now in a D and we're all set to move off. This is so high. I just feel I'm seated so damn high in the car. And it's a diesel, the V6, you instantly feel there's a lot of noise with the engine that comes into the cabin. Comfort mode, and I noticed the RPM is still shifting up to 2000 every time I accelerate in order for it to change gears. Handle speed breakers just comfortably. When you get into normal mode, you notice that it just simply stiffens up the dampers a little bit, but it's got good pulling power, the V6 engine that's out here. It's a noisy engine, that's the first thing I could just notice. And it's heavy, that's the main thing. You can feel that 550 Newton meters of torque. I'm pretty sure I could just simply bulldoze anybody if I whacked them with this car. Just look at my bonnet out here, man. The bonnet's so huge, imposing. And the gear shifting is seamless as expected. The DSG does its job. My visibility from all around, you look like the mirrors here, the side view mirrors as well. Really clear and large, so I'm not really got any kind of blind spots with the rear glass as well. The back end is so huge. It still would struggle in tight spaces because of its sheer size that it occupies. Every time I press the pedal, I can just simply feel that surging build-up of power. It just simply drives in your body as well. My dampers are now set into the sport setting. All the way to 3000 RPM, we are ready to take off the road. It is a V6 and we're past the 100 mark in under 6 seconds. And you can actually feel it is so damn fast. So the sport setting, it's completely taken over the vehicle now. My steering is so damn stiff, I can actually feel the weight behind it. And it blazes, it blitz. My foot is just simply axed into the pedal and I'm all the way to the red line, 5000 RPM in this diesel, 120 kilometers an hour. Monstrous. Just simply monstrosity. That's the word. Trail of dust left behind. That's the Touareg. This is it. So the Touareg, a unique SUV. That's what it is. It's got such stature, pleasuresome to drive. I didn't really want to get out of it, to be honest. I'd want to just simply travel all over India, all over its bad roads, good roads, fancy places, night outs, you name it. This car is one such car that I really want to have with me, just because of the way it drives with that engine that's inside it. And I kind of pity Volkswagen for not being able to bring it to India anymore. A 3-litre V6, that's a driving dream, and the Touareg fulfills it.